It's Zoya
and Zara,
and today we are going to be doing a story time. So this story time is about me getting chased by a dog
and our nephew going missing.
Okay, so it all started out in the morning around 9:30 a.m. Me and Zahara are sound asleep because we go to sleep hecka late, okay? It was really, really late. So we're sleeping in our beds.
Our cousin
comes banging on the door. Right? So I have to go get up and answer the door for him because he's not leaving me alone. And I'm like kind of like a medium sleeper, like light and heavy.
I'm a heavy.
Yeah, she's a heavy sleeper, right? So I'm like, and I couldn't go back to sleep because he kept banging, banging, banging. So I finally got up and answered the door, and I'm like,
Why are you here?
Why? Right?
And then his reason was that he was taking a walk.
Oh, yeah, exactly. He told his mom that he was taking a walk, and he came all the way to our house, right? So I answered the door, and he's like, blah, blah, blah. He comes in, and he's talking to both of us. Zahara's like half asleep, and then she finally gets up, like kind of wakes up a little bit. Yeah, okay. And then so he starts talking to us, and then he asked me if I want to go on a walk, and I'm like, yeah, okay. So I change out like my sweatpants and my t-shirt, and I put on like shorts or something, and we go on a walk.
Meanwhile, while she's walking, I just fall back asleep. Our nephew was still sleeping, so I just go to sleep with him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and you made pancakes that morning too.
Yes.
Yeah.
I made pancakes.
She got up, made pancakes. Then we, me and Rodane and her, Rodane is our cousin. We all ate pancakes, and then Zahara went to sleep with my nephew, and me and Rodane had left. Okay, so we get back, and I think you decided that you wanted to go to grandma's, and
by that time my nephew was awake. So when I go to my grandma's, I usually go with my nephew. So I decided to go with him.
Yeah. So we get back, and it was like around 11:30 when we got back, and Zahara and Jermaine were still sleeping, and so I took a nap because obviously like 9:30 is really early. Like I usually get up at 2 now that it's the summer. So yeah, I take a nap, and then Zahara wakes up before I do, and by this time Rodane is gone. So Zahara gets up and she's like, I want to go to grandma's. She decides that she wants to go to grandma's, and Jermaine is awake at this time also. So they get ready to go, and then I get up out of my bed, and I'm like, I want to come. So I spread my bed, and they leave before me. So I spread my bed, blah, 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 get everything ready, and I leave, and I grab my key. And I'm walking, and they're on bikes, because my bike had been broken at the time. I mean, it's still broken. Yeah. Okay. Right? So, yeah. And then, so yeah, we meet up at grandma's house. Everything is fine and dandy. And, we live really close to, like, CVS and
like it's a whole store.
Yeah,
it's
like a lot of
stores.
So it's like at the most a 15-minute walk, but we walk pretty fast. So it's like 8 to 10-minute walk. Right? So we're at my grandma's house, and I'm just trying to like get any type of change I can so I can go to the store. Because Rodane works, so he has money and blah blah blah. And so yeah, I'm getting any change I can. And Zahara, Jermaine, and Rodane.
Jermaine's our cousin, so Jermaine's our nephew, so if you say nephew, we're talking about Jermaine, and if you say Jermaine, we're talking about our nephew.
Yeah, yeah. So, Jermaine was misbehaving, so, Rodane was like, come on, Jermaine, let's go on a walk, right? Zahara said she wants to go, right? And then I'm still over here trying to get change because, like, peanut M&Ms are my favorite candy, and they were on sale for $2.88, and they're usually $4.19 at CVS, so I, like, really wanted them. And I had like about $2 at this time, so I was gonna go home and ask my mom for $1 or $2 so I could also get a slushie at Cumbies, right? So they start walking down this road. It's like, okay, so Rodane's house is on the other side of this road, and then on the other side there's this big huge hill that you go down to get to my house. So you have to walk through this road to get to the hill to go down to my house, right? And they're right. And Rodane's house is right across from the hill, and there's the road in between of both houses, if you understand what I mean.
So we were just walking casually, just talking, trying to cool down Jermaine. And so there's this house with a dog. We passed by it, no problem. We don't even mind the dog.
Redan called me.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yes.
yeah, so Redan called me and he's like, where are you going? And I'm like, I'm going home. I need to get some money so I can go to the store. Yeah, Redan's house is like in between from my house to the stores. Right? Okay. So I'm like, I'm going home. I need to get some money so I can go to the store. And they're like near the end of the street right now, and I'm like at the middle. So like we were kind of yelling, right? And Rodana's like, we're going to the store. And I was like, ooh, I want to come because maybe Rodana would give me like that extra $1 that I needed, the extra $2 that I needed. So I was like, all right, I'm coming. So I start running, right? This is where it went downhill. Okay, so I start running and I'm like, I'm coming. So I pass by the house, there's no problem, not a care in the world, right? Okay. And Zahara watches all of this. Zahara, Jermaine, and Rodana watch all of this happen, right? So I'm running, I'm like, wait for me.
I'm just laughing.
They keep walking, right? So I'm like running as fast as I can. And I'm like going at a pretty hasty speed, right?
Because we're trying to like leave her.
Yeah, and cause they were trying to ditch me, so I'm like, they're not ditching me, so I'm like jetting, I'm running, right? And then I pass by this house, okay? And this house has a dog. It's a big poodle, like
it's like the size of my nephew.
Bigger than that. He's like Zahara's size, right? Like if he was standing up on its two legs, like it's like Zahara, right?
And usually this dog is in there because it's a summer house,
right? So I'm like running by, and I'm just like, then I hear barking, right? And like I'm not so scared of dogs, but just like dogs that I don't really know, and like dogs that from like a stranger's house I'm not like friendly with. I'm not gonna go in the yard and like, can I pet your dog? Like no. Right, so the dog is in the yard and it starts barking. I see it through the corner of my eye, and then it starts running. Yo, my life flashed before my eyes. I thought I was gonna get killed. Right, this dog starts running at me full force, and I'm like, ah! I'm like screaming. I'm like screaming my lungs off. Like I'm screaming, and I was like kind of out of breath a little bit. So I screamed, and I kind of like made my lungs more like tight, right? But I'm like jetting the fastest I've ever ran, like probably more than my 100-meter dash track, right?
And me, Rodan, and Jermaine are just laughing and running.
They're
faster.
laughing at me, okay? They're on bikes, or well, Rodan's walking, but they're on bikes, right? And they're laughing. I'm like, it's not funny. I'm crying. Well, no, I wasn't crying, but I was like about to cry. Like this was like an emotional experience, right? I was not having it out. It was not fun. No. Okay, right? So the dog comes off its lawn running, right? I'm running as fast as I can. Like, I'm like, I'm gonna die in my head, right? And then the dog comes around. Like, alright, so I'm running and the dog comes off its lawn and around. And it starts running next to me. I have never been so scared in my life. Oh my God, I thought my life flashed before my eyes. I was like, in my head, I was like, God, I'm about to die, Lord. Oh, I was praying in my head. I was so scared.
And then I told my nephew to stop running because there was another dog on that street, but it was more vicious because it was a husky. So I was like, Jermaine, stop running. Because the whole reason why she got attacked was because she was running.
Right. I didn't get attacked. I almost got attacked, right? So I'm like, so the dog is running with me at this time, and I start passing by the house. The dog just goes behind me and runs back into its yard. I thought the dog was gonna kill me, and it was just running with me. Like I still think
he thought it was funny. Basically, the dog just thought it was fun.
It was just, and his tail was wagging and everything, but I wasn't paying attention to that until after, right? The dog just runs right back in its lawn. I was like, okay. I was like, are you serious? So then I finally get to them and I'm like, they're still laughing. And I'm like cheese, like, it's not funny. Like, I'm salted, right? And then I start walking because I didn't notice this, but Jermaine was like running onto this lawn where there's like this broken sprinkler, and we were like, Zahara and my cousin were like, get off the lawn.
Because the dog lived at that, and the dog was just staring at us.
Yeah, and I didn't know that there was a dog at that house. So so they're like, Jermaine, get off the lawn, and then Radane is like whispering, and he's like, Zoya, just walk past the dog, and I'm like walking, and obviously, even though that dog was not trying to hurt me, I was still really, really scared and shooken up from that experience. So I was just like, I don't know, I was like, okay, right, and I'm like looking at the dog through the corner of my eye, and I'm like, okay, right. So yeah, we eventually start walking. Okay, so and then we start walking, and then there's another road by Cumbies that you can take to all the way down and get to my house. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna go home now since because Radane had already told me that he wasn't gonna buy me anything. So I was like, okay, well, whatever. So I start walking, and I cut through, and I'm like, okay, there's no dogs on this road, so I'm good.
I actually thought. Anyway, so me and Radane and Jermaine were just like talking about it, like how dumb did she seem, and then so later, so we just got 4 Arizonas because it was 2 for $1.
Yeah. Alright, so I'm like walking home, not I mean, obviously I'm still really, really scared in my heart, but I'm like, there's no dog on this road, like I'm just thinking comforting thoughts, and I'm like, if it wasn't for Jesus, like I would be killed by that dog. Like if it wasn't for God, I would have been dead. If it wasn't, and I'm like, God protected me, God is over me, right? So I just continue to walk, and I'm walking, and everything's going fine. I passed by the 2 streets that you can go off of to get to that road that I was on. I passed by them, and everything is chill, right? I get to the 2nd street, and that's the street that Radane lives on, and it is and it's basically right before you get down to my house. Down the hill to my house. Because there's 2 hills. There's one across from Radane's house, and then there's one on this road that I was taking all the way down, and then you take left, and you go down that hill, and then take a right, and you go up, and it's my house, right? So that was the final street before the hill. So I was like, yeah, I'm pretty close. Like everything is fine. Everything was not fine, right? I see this wild dog by the street, and I see it, and it doesn't see me because I saw the tail. But I was still scared because I knew that dogs have like really good like senses, so it could probably smell me, right? So I turn around and I start walking fast. I'm like walking fast, like almost running, but not running because obviously I don't want to get chased by another dog. Okay, so I start walking. I call Radane.
And while so we are just drinking our Arizonas, whatever. And so Radane gets a call, and Zoya's bawling her eyes out.
I was
bawling.
Crying, yo.
I'm over here like, is she really crying? Laughing at her. And she's like, it's not funny. And we could see her. She was fine.
I was crying. I was so scared. I was like, the dog. I don't want to die. Like I'm trying to like just think that God's protecting me, but I'm scared.
No, the dog did not see her.
Yeah, but as I was walking down, there was barking, right? So I didn't know where this dog was. So I'm like, help me. And the tears start coming down. Okay, and this is a little bit of a main road because this is the back roads to get to Mashpee.
We were on
this is
highway.
Like this is so
highway.
There's the highway, and then
the road that she's on is off the highway.
And it's like the road to all the back roads to get to Mashpee with less traffic. And we're not talking about a freeway highway, we're talking about like a little town highway. Like it was just basically a road that you had to take to get to like the road off the street. Like this road went all the way through Falmouth, where we live, right? And Falmouth is a small town, so it wasn't like a freeway, it was just like a little highway. Okay? So I'm like walking, and then I have to cross the highway at the lights to get to CVS. They come meet me actually, so I didn't have to cross. And I'm like, and they're like, Zoya, chill, right?
My nephew's just laughing at her.
And So yeah, and then we start walking, and Jermaine starts getting ahead of us, and Jermaine's misbehaving because Jermaine doesn't really like to listen, but he's like misbehaving a little bit, like just doing like little silly things, and he's walking ahead of us, and I'm like, Jermaine, stay with the group, because I'm not trying to be eaten.
And they're like, and then they tell me, go, you're on a bike. I'm like, I'm not going. I'm not trying to get eaten by this dog.
Right. And so I'm at this point, I'm not walking home alone. I'm not doing any of this because I saw three dogs, because that morning before, when me and Radin were on our walk, a dog came from someone's house. We were a good distance away though. The dog came from this neighbor's house, and the owner runs after the dog and was like, come back here, right? When I was on the walk with Radin, that dog came out of its yard, but was on the pavement though, and then it went right back into its yard. But we were still running just to be safe, even though we were a good distance away. But we just didn't want to get eaten by a dog, obviously. So that was 3 dogs that I've seen today. 2 of them came at us, and 1 of them was a stray. So at this point, I was fed up with the dogs. Like, I've taken the road that I saw both dogs on like 50 billion times, and I've never seen a dog come out of the house or anything like that. And this specific day, I see 3. So I was not having it. I'm not trying to put myself in danger. So I start walking with the group, right? And then Zahara decides that she wants to sleep over. And I'm like, I'm not going home alone. Right? So I'm like, I'm sleeping over too. Jermaine sleeps over too. So we all sleep over our grandma's house.
Mario, my brother, brings Jermaine over there because Jermaine wanted to stay with us.
Yeah. Because we had walked home, Zahara got clothes and everything, and then that's when she told me she wanted to sleep over. And I was like, all right, well, I guess I'll sleep over too. And so we left Jermaine at the house, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, and then Romario had brought him back to Grandma's, and with us, because at that time we had all walked over to Grandma's, right? And I finally got like the money I needed. It was all in like pennies and change. So we had to walk all the way back to the store, which wasn't really a far walk. So we went from my house back to the store so I could get what I wanted. I got the M&Ms and a slushie.
It wasn't really a long walk because our nephew wasn't with us.
Yeah, when our nephew is with us, it's a slow walk because, well, when he's on his bike, it's like he's walking, and then when he's walking, he's like misbehaves, and we have to stop and tell him to stop doing whatever he's doing. So it was like a short walk. And so we get to the store, buy what I need, and then we leave, and then we go to, and then we started heading to, my grandmother's house. And then Radane realizes that what he came from my house for, it was this portable charger that my brother had borrowed and never given back. He wanted it. And he left it at the house, right? So I'm like, okay, whatever. I'll go back and get it. Because as long as I'm on a bike, I'm not scared of the dogs.
She took my bike.
Yeah, I took her bike. And it was really small, but that's besides the point.
I have a BMX bike, and she's used to a mountain bike.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, whatever, I'll go get it because I'm not trying to turn back. We're already on their way to the store, and the store's about to close. Like, I want to get there and get my M&Ms. Okay? So, Dan's like, whatever, you better go get it. I'm like, I will, because I had to get my charger too, because we were sleeping over.
And she also had to go get some clothes.
Yeah. And then, so we get to the road that you have to turn on to get to Dan's house. And then, to get to my house, you just take that road straight. And then you turn a little bit later. So I was like, alright, Zari, get off your bike, you start walking down there, and I'll take the bike to the house. And so this was after I had bought the M&Ms and everything. So I bike home, and I kind of jetted because I was not trying to get a towel right now. I go home, I get the chargers and everything. Alright? And then we get to my grandmother's house, and everybody's just chilling. Everything's fine. And then
we realized that our nephew is nowhere to be seen. So we were like, oh my god, we lost him, whatever. So
she's worried because at that time Jermaine had told her, I'm leaving grandma's house.
And we never take him seriously when he says it because he never actually leaves.
And I didn't hear it. Radane didn't hear it. She is the only person that hear it. So if Jermaine was actually missing, everybody's like, well, it's your fault. It's her fault, right? Because she didn't listen to Jermaine. But Yeah, so it
then,
was like really quiet for a long period of time, and that's not usual when Jermaine is at the house. So we were like, wait, where's Jermaine? Yeah, so you continue.
So, like Zoe said before, it's Rodane's house, and then there's a hill. So we were at the hill. They are playing Pokemon Go, and I'm like, oh, I'm over here like, Jermaine is missing, and you guys are playing Pokemon Go, and they're like, whatever, you go ahead, you're on a bike. I'm like,
yeah,
but still.
Yeah, Nick, I didn't really take it as seriously because I was like, I mean, how far could he get? Like
he
he's
knows
on his
it by
bike.
heart too.
Yeah, and he knows the way to heart, so by heart. But the worry was still there because I was like, he could have got hit by a car or something like that.
Somebody could have taken him away.
And something like that. So, all right. So then, I'm still playing Pokemon Go though.
So we reached down the hill, and then so Zoe's still like afraid of dogs. So we're like, this house has a dog, that house has a dog, that house has a dog. Like teasing
just
her.
to be scared, right?
Yeah. And
then we finally decide that we're gonna call my brother because he probably could have picked up Jermaine because
his bike wasn't there or anything.
Yeah, his bike wasn't there because Jermaine's bike wasn't there or anything, and my brother is Jermaine's father. So we're gonna like, yeah, well, Mario could have picked him up. So we get down to the hall.
And everybody's like, I'm not calling him.
I'm playing Pokemon Go. Like, I'm not trying to close the app. I need an egg to hatch.
And also, we're like, we're not trying to get in trouble for him being missing, so we're not calling him. Use your phone. Use your phone. Use your phone.
So we finally get Rodane to call him, and we're like, hey, Romano, did you pick up Jermaine? And he goes, yeah. And we're like,
how come you didn't tell anybody? He goes, I told your guys' grandpa. Our grandpa did not tell us anything. Our grandpa walked by us so many times without saying a word about it.
Yeah, so we're like, are you kidding me? Like, we thought Jermaine was missing. And I was like, Cesar, blah, 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 I can play Pokemon Go. He wasn't even lost, blah, blah, blah. Okay? So then we get home, and everything is all good and dandy. So, yeah. That's the story of when I got chased by a dog.
And we thought our nephew was missing.
So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed our first video here on this channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and leave a comment down below just letting us know what you liked about the video
and what you want to see.
And what you want to see. Even though we're probably going to get like 3 comments or no comments.
Every comment
But
counts.
every comment counts, you know? Or every like counts, every subscription counts, or anything like that. So subscribe to us for more videos, for more story times, for more vlogs. We plan to do vlogs and stuff.
We're vlogging tomorrow, plus tomorrow, well, today's my birthday, but tomorrow is when we're going to celebrate my birthday, because today's Friday.
And I don't know if this video will be up on Friday, because I gotta go edit it. But yeah, I probably should, because it's 6:15 right now. I can probably get it up before.
And it's a summer, so, like...
we have nothing to do.
Yeah, and also, during the night, we'd be like, let's go into our room, so we can just edit all night.
Yeah. So, yeah. Bye, guys.
Bye.